Now, it's interesting because I got a lot of flack for this one because I didn't have the correct opinion. And it's a little bit disheartening to see that people cannot judge on a case by case basis. They think that every single nation is suffering the exact same problems and the exact same conditions apply everywhere. And so I'm generally curious, like, if I can explain it better in this video. And so, like, forget everything you know about up until now, right? Like, forget about the internet. Let's start fresh, okay? And let's talk about Moldova in particular, which apparently now is getting 300,000 new workers. You need to understand what Moldova is, first and foremost. It's the poorest nation in Europe. And it's also a nation that lives next to a border that has an active war going on. So it's literally next to the Russian-Ukraine conflict. A big chunk of their nation is actually occupied by the remnants of a Russian military division. The area is called Transnistria. Apparently, they have one of the largest munition depots in Europe, and they threaten to blow it up if they're ever going to be attacked. This would cause a massive ecological disaster because it's next to a river, which would pollute the drinking water from the region. And so it's a nation that has a lot of anxiety. It has a lot of economic problems. It cannot successfully extract taxes from all of its citizens. And it's a nation that is also suffering the same demographic collapse. Now, it's also important to understand why having babies doesn't fix the problem in Moldova. Because having babies would fix the problem in Germany. It would fix the problem in France. It would fix the problem in the United Kingdom. But as I mentioned before, like, you gotta look at various countries and apply the situation on the ground. And so if Moldova has babies, what happens is that the young people, they leave. And I know this because I see in Moldova, I have friends from there. Every single young person from a Moldavian village either leaves to Romania or goes to the European Union or goes to the capital city, Chisinau. And so the capital city, Chisinau, and the European Union are like a vampire. They are unironically draining the human capital from Moldavian cities. This is not hypothetical. Like, there are entire villages that do not plant anything. You have people that are dying elderly in their bed with no one to take care of. And the interesting thing, what happens when you don't have people, is that the electricity goes out. The water stops getting purified. Food stops arriving in the stores. It's not like a hypothetical, okay, there are no people and there's no cash. Even if I was to go right now, and let's say I give $1 million to an elderly Moldavian, he doesn't have to do anything with that money. Like unless he moves away from there, which probably he won't, because they also have like this belief in ancestral holdings and stuff. But like, he has nothing to spend the money on. Like, there is no food in the supermarket. There is no electricity. There's no internet. And so you need to understand the problem from Moldavia, from the Moldavian perspective. It's not that they're not having children. It's that the European Union and other rich nations are robbing their kids and their future. So a lot of people talk about immigration as a problem. Nobody talks about what immigration is doing to poor nations. Nobody is talking about emigration. And emigration is also affecting my nation pretty fucking bad. Like, it's doing a lot of brain drain. It's taking a lot of jobs from here. But it's not as bad as Moldavia, because Moldavia is even a smaller country. And so the only thing you could do is, I guess, like, lock the borders, right? And turn the country into a prison, which is what the Soviets have done. Like, that would be one of the solutions. The other solutions would be for the European Union to, I guess, like, go through a moral awakening and realize that what they are doing is destroying other nations, which is not going to happen. And so this is the third solution, because again, you have not a problem of people not getting their pension. That's not the issue. The problem is, like, you will not have enough people to maintain society, to maintain logistics, to keep the trains running, to keep the water being purified, to maintain electricity, to maintain the sewage, to build new stuff, right? In fact, like, building new stuff is probably not even needed in Moldavia. And so there is a correct solution and a wrong solution. The correct solution is that if these workers are indeed temporary and they just go in there with a worker visa, that is different than the refugee crisis that the European Union is having, where the people are going there and then they become citizens and then they get welfare. I don't believe that Moldavia even can do this if it wants to. The reality is most people don't want to live there. Like most people want Germany, France, where the free gigs are. Moldavia literally physically cannot afford to pay these people to stay there. And so this is the problem, right? Like I genuinely believe that they may be, unironically, workers that are going there in order to work with working contracts, right? So like you have a corporation, a company that's bringing in, like these are the workers, this is the amount of time that they can stay and work for, and after that they are sent back. Obviously, if Moldavia makes them citizens, that would be a mistake. I don't see it happening, which is why I'm saying like you need to compare every single nation with the actual problems and the things that the nation state is dealing with. I'm not becoming globalist because I'm looking at this and I'm saying, okay, but like if I was in a position of leadership, what would I do? Now, the second thing that people say is that if you bring, I've been told this on Twitter, if you bring low IQ people, it's not good. And I'm like, okay, you're right. You seem to be very high IQ. Would you work in Moldova? Like, would you or your family go in order to work there? They don't pay much, by the way. Like, I would be surprised if they pay $50 per month. I'm not even kidding. Like, it's Moldova. Like, it's not that they're greedy. They literally cannot afford to pay more than that. And the problem, again, is not because they're creating it. The problem is that the way the incentives and the current nations are built. Rich nations, like Germany, France, the UK, they are draining resources from poorer nations, like Moldova. Moldova is then forced, by the circumstances, because it doesn't want to trap its people, to drain resources from other nations. And those other nations, probably, they drain resources from someone else. It's not sustainable. What I think is happening is that modern industry and technology have turned cities into graveyards. A person living in a city doesn't want to have kids. The reason they don't want to have kids is because historically, kids have been a measure of wealth. Like kids actually produce. If you're on a farm and you have 8 kids, you have a wealthy farm. If you're on a farm and you have no kids and you go old, no one is plowing the fields, you end up in poverty, right? So like historically, children, since the age of 6 or 8, they started working around the household. Like they're already contributing. In a modern society, in a modern place, people are told that if they have kids at the age of 16, it's a calamity. They should get an abortion. Social media is making dating be something incredibly cynical and treating human beings like products. Even without dating website, like social media in general is doing that. The welfare system is incentivizing people not to have kids because when they go old, like someone will take care of them. The current divorce rates is forcing people to have more houses, driving prices up, making it less likely for people to have children. Like all of these together, right, plus the immigration, plus everything, is making it very, very difficult for people to have kids. And so that's the reality of the city, right? It's not the reality of the rural area. The problem is that the rural area, when they have children, they go to the cities because kids and teenagers like generally they want novelty, they want stimulation, and they also want a better wage, right? They want better living conditions. And so you have like these massive nations just draining people into the cities, that the cities do become graveyards. And as they're draining, people are panicking because they're thinking like, okay, well, hold on a little bit. Like the water stops working, right? Like the electricity stops working. Something burns down. You can't replace it. You don't have people. It's not about money. It's like you literally do not have people in these places to do the repairs. You don't have miners to extract the resources. You don't have stores that are stocked up with food because there's no capital. In a city, people don't notice this. Because in a city, you have like still millions of people right now. But if you go in a village, and I can take you to a couple of Romanian villages, and you will see the future of Western Europe. Like what usually ends up happening is you have a village that maybe has like 200 families. Most of the children leave. The people that stay become old. They can't plow the field anymore. They can't work at all. And so like the village literally dies. Like the houses become decrepit. Like you can see that the houses are falling. And even if I was to go there with my cash and I'm like, okay, I can buy a house there. It's very cheap, by the way. But then I want to repair it. There's no construction company that's willing to go that far. You know, like there's no one that comes. And at one point, the power goes out. The electric company just says, yeah, we're not going to repair this because it's far away and there's no consumer there anyway. And so you end up without internet. You end up with anything, you know? And again, like this is the future for a lot of Western nations. Like right now, they're trying to stop it with the immigration because they're kicking the can down the road. But even the immigration has a limit. Other nations, as they're connecting to the internet, they're also noticing demographic decline. It's not, you know, like what people say, pornography or having kids. It's simply the internet as a whole. Like social media is doing this. Social media is doing this, number one. And number two, the cities. Like the modern lifestyle, the modern morality, right? Where, again, children, they're not supposed to have a job until they finish university. And once they finish university, they still can't have children until they get a job. And then the entire incentive for divorces is to do it. Like the woman is financially incentivized to get a divorce. And so we have what we have. It's not sustainable. It will collapse eventually. And nations will actually do this. Like they will get workers from other places. And you may say, well, yeah, it's a different culture. Well, sure, yes, it's a different culture. But do you think like Romanians want to go and work in Moldavia? Like some would. I'm not saying no one does. But the reality is Romanians want to work in Germany. They want to work in places that, you know, they provide more wealth than they can get in the country. Polish people don't want to work in Moldavia. Right? Like this is the problem. Like you got to take people from where they want to come. And Germans don't want to go to Moldavia to work because it's not paying as much as they can get by begging in Berlin. Like if you're a beggar in Berlin or you go to Moldavia to actually work, you would earn far more money just by begging in Berlin. And it's not about the taxes either. It's not like Moldavia has high taxes. It doesn't. They don't even have a functioning welfare state. They don't have people to extract resources. And if they don't have people to extract resources, they don't have people to manufacture those resources. So again, like when I basically like talking about Moldavia, people think that I'm talking about in general. Like people generally can't separate that, okay, like some nation states are different, like some nation states are actually dealing with other problems. And you can't compare Moldavia with Germany because Germans aren't leaving Germany for other nations in order to get better jobs. Although they might start. They may start, right? Like when shit hits the fan and their welfare state is going to start taxing more than 50% of what they do, like some of them already are, they're going to leave to the United States. But up until now, Germany was different because like the Germans stay in Germany, right? So like if they genuinely did have more kids, the problem would be solved. If Moldavia starts fucking like rabbits tomorrow and they have a population boom, all of them leave to Romania, all of them leave to Poland, all of them leave to Germany, because that's where the money is. And the question is like, would I support Moldavia uniting with Romania? Why would I want people that dilute my vote, and not to mention they usually vote communism? Like I would support if there's no border and you allow like Moldavians and Romanians to move across and they can work in each other's countries, but that wouldn't be good for the Moldavians. Right? I mean, well, maybe it would. I don't know. Like, if you go there and you invest in let's say, a farm, right? In a village, and then you create jobs, maybe their children wouldn't leave the rural areas. But would that happen? I don't know. I guess it depends on the Moldavian government, right? Like, what facilities do they give? And also, like, the people there. Would they want someone from Romania that's rich to go in and start harvesting their grandmother's land and take that away from them? You know, it's complicated. I don't know. Maybe it would be good. I know that the Moldavian government is trying to do these sorts of initiatives to attract foreign capital, but like again, it's Moldavia. No one wants to go there. It's bad for them. The question is like, well, if the workers are coming, are they replacing them? Well, it depends if they make them citizens or not, right? Like if they just go back home after they finish the work, then they're not being replaced. But the reality is, if the emigration continues, it's not going to be about replacement. It's going to be like everyone has left. And then you have like a nation the size of Moldova that's pretty much empty. You gotta understand, like, the thing doesn't happen the way people imagine. Like, everybody has to leave. No, if a modern nation that has like modern sewage, modern electricity, modern water purification, if it loses like a third of people, and the other ones get old, you don't just scale those down. No, like they stop working, right? And once they stop working, then everyone that remains there, they're going to remain in a very medieval place where you have to have like small villages with horse and carriages that, just farm the small aspect. But even those are difficult because you live in a small village, but you're aware that over the border there's a functioning state. And so, like, the young people will just travel to the functioning state, right? Do you understand what I'm saying? This is why it's a problem. And what's happening in Moldova right now, I'm telling you, it's going to happen in Western Europe and in many other places. It's not going to be like people are moving from one country to another, but they will constantly be moving from rural places to cities. So you'll end up with, like, a city that's pretty big. It's like a vampire draining the human capital from everywhere, surrounded by a couple of villages that still function, and everywhere else is going to be dystopian. Unless AI saves us, right? Like, unless robotics and AI manages to, I guess, maintain the infrastructure. But even that wouldn't really save us because it would create other problems down the line. It creates dependency. So all in all, there's no good solutions for this. It's going to be the crisis of our children's generation or our grandchildren's. And they will have to work it out, just like our ancestors worked out the world wars. They worked out the Great Plagues. Our grandchildren are going to work it out, and they'll probably have a completely different society for their grandchildren. But this is interesting because it's not being discussed at the television, right? And so many people are treating this like it's a German problem, and they're saying, oh, well, just cut the welfare. It's like, well, what welfare? Oh, the party elites are betraying the nation. Like, okay, do you have another solution? People just wear it out. They don't stay there. Like, they come over here and they go to Germany, and eventually it's the same problem. Like even the workers, that's what I'm trying to say. Even the workers that are coming, they will not stay there. Nobody is going to stay there, right? Unless the situation is fixed. Like, nobody wants to stay in a country where you don't have electricity, water, or internet. It's the era of smartphones. Even the immigrants have smartphones. Stop being dumb. This is a problem that hopefully, is going to be fixed somehow. I don't know. They have experts now, right? Because no one wants to take responsibility. Let me know what you guys think. And as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.